This video training is crane model specific familiarization training and not to unit standards. It is a controller's responsibility to ensure that all operators using the equipment are adequately trained and familiarized to comply with current legislation. Before you start operation of the crane and winch, daily equipment pre-checks, initial site inspection, PPE and weight of load to be lifted should be observed. Hello and welcome to Waimea Truck and Crane training video for the QuickLIFT 055 and 080 model cranes. Today we are doing a video on the 055. The only difference between this and a 080 is their dimensions and their lifting capacity. This crane has a single hydraulic extension and a single manual extension. It has 350 degrees of rotation. It has a lift capacity of 580 kgs at 0.95 of a metre down to 215 kgs at 2.41. The crane has an operator's manual which shows you how to operate the crane and with the servicing scheduling. It also has a manual wind down stabilizer leg, and it can come with an optional 500 kg capacity winch. Now let's talk more specifically about the 055 crane. Place the stabilizer pad, extend the stabilizer beam and secure. Remove the foot linch pin and pin and lower to the desired length and replace both pins. With the manual handle, wind down the stabilizer leg to lightly support the vehicle. With the winch remote control unit cable plugged into the winch connection, the winch and crane are now ready to operate. Turn on the PowerPACK by the red isolation key. To check the hydraulic oil level, the crane should be folded and the oil should be seen on the sight glass. Crane functions are operated by a 6-button on-off handheld remote control unit. This operates the PowerPACK each time a button is pressed, allowing the desired function to move. The functions are rotate counterclockwise, clockwise, boom raise, boom lower, boom extension and boom retraction. Insert the key and turn the remote on. Pull up the safety red isolator switch. If the remote is not used for more than 3 minutes, it will shut down. To activate again, switch off and on the red isolator switch. It is charged by its own 12 24 volt charger. A green operations light will turn to red when the remote requires charging. Raise the boom and pay out the wire rope using a gloved hand to apply tension on the rope. Extend the manual boom by removing both a linch and main pin and pull out to the desired length. Then secure by replacing both pins. Extend the hydraulic boom as required over the load to be lifted. The PowerPACK houses the electric motor, hydraulic tank, control valves and remote receiver. It has an isolation switch and an emergency switch located on the outside. The isolation switch cuts all power to the PowerPACK, crane and winch. The emergency switch is only used in the event of the crane not being able to be operated by the handheld remote control unit. In this condition, the crane is operated by removing the cover and pushing on the desired function poppet on the end of the operational valve with a small blunt tool, in this case an Allen key, and turning on the emergency switch, which will continually run the electric motor with the switch in this position. When the operations have been completed and the crane is in a safely stowed position, switch off the emergency switch and replace the cover. The PowerPACK has an operational cycle time. Every 30 seconds of use, with a maximum of 1 minute, 2 to 4 minutes of cool down time is recommended. The rule of thumb is length of duty time times by 4 for the cooling time. If the load weight is okay to be lifted at a retracted boom length, but too heavy when the boom is extended, then the boom will slowly lower the load to the ground as you extend the boom. This is controlled by the load hole valve, which is located on the column lift cylinder. The load hole valve serves two purposes. One of them, as just described, preventing the crane from being overloaded. The second purpose is, in the event of a hydraulic hose breakage on the lifting circuit of the main lift cylinder, the load hole valve will hold the load, preventing it lowering to the ground or any other obstacle. In the event of winch power failure, it is supplied with a manual winding handle. Remove the grommet, insert the handle and wind to raise or lower the load. When directly over the load, pay out the wire rope and hook, again keeping tension on the rope with a gloved hand, and secure the hook onto the load. Attention should be made to the amount of wire rope paid out. At least 3 turns should be left on the winch drum for safety. If you observe the wire rope is winding in when operating the paying out switch on the remote, this indicates that the drum has been completely unwound and is now feeding the wire rope in the drum in the wrong direction. In this condition, there is no safety holding brake operation, as this is designed to work in one direction only. Remove the load and unwind the wire rope in the correct drum rotation. When secure, step away from the load to be lifted and start the lift. The winch is rated at 500 kgs when there are 2 layers of wire rope on the winch drum. The more layers on the drum reduces its lift capacity. It has a maximum cycle time of 4 minutes, followed with 16 minutes of cool down time. On completing the lifting operation of the crane and winch, you will need to fold up the crane, wind in the winch rope and stow the stabiliser leg before travel, ensuring everything is secure and safe. The crane can also be used without the winch operation. Just remove the pins and pulleys. Ensure that the lifting hook is in good condition and the safety latch is operating correctly. Pay in the wire rope under tension from a gloved hand until clear. On behalf of Waimea Truck and Crane, I would like to thank you for viewing this training video. For any more support, please don't hesitate in contacting us.